What's up, guys? Just gonna work on a little melody with Jay here. He's got an amazing idea, just needs refining. And this is the case with a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of melodies. 90% of the melodies my client sent me, they're like they're halfway there, but they just need a little bit of help. I had one today, got an awesome client in the studio, and yeah, he created this melody, and he was like, oh my gosh, it was so close. And just a couple of changes, I was like, look, let's collab on this. Like, so I made the melody insane, and then, you know, the rest is history. But don't mean to sound arrogant there. It's just the way it works, you know, experience, things like that. So let's turn on Don't Disturb for a start. We've got the drone, we've got a melody. So yeah, the start of it's really nice. Got a new template. Yes, especially out of screen. Yeah, the start of the melody is nice. I think we just need to keep it a little bit more simple. You have to excuse a couple of things. One, there might be some background noise. I've just got a fan for the studio. It's amazing. I'm no longer roasting, but it might be some hissing. Secondly, I've got a cold. I've always got a bloody cold. So if I'm sniffling, that's why. Sub-drone. Let's have a look at you. Dark melody. Where you gone, lead bus? My favourite lead for this sound is this Spire sound. It's gorgeous. But my new favourite synth is Dune. Got it legally. I've got all my software fully legal now. I think there's a couple of things that I've had to install illegally just to get Misha finished. I stupidly wiped the Mac before 100% finishing Misha, which is my new track with Ellis for it's the Jerry's follow-up. So I had to install some crap bits of software because I never use them. So I'm not going to pay like $300-400 for something I don't use. So I installed them. I'm going to get rid of them shortly. And yeah, 13 years I've been producing, and everything will be legal. It's not, you know, it's not really an ethical thing, although that's quite a nice feeling to know that you've got everything fully legit. It's more of a, like, I've got 10, 15 bits of plugins and synths I use, and knowing that they're all legit means that there's going to be less issues for crashes and stuff like that. So, yeah, not saying you should do it. I know most people can't do it, but it's probably cost me about, I don't know, just over £1,000, £1,000 to do it, but it's a good investment for me. So yeah, June, if you've got any sound banks and you'd like to share them or swap them, feel free. What's going on here? Network problem. It's not on my end because I've got a beastie computer. Poor network, it says. Let's have a look if it is me. If it isn't, I'll apologise. Here we go, we got a call back here. Look at that. That's without the Ethernet cable. It's pretty good. I've seen some people get like 2,000 in America. It's crazy, but to be fair, it's all about the upload speed. Jay seems to have disappeared. We'll give him a call back. Hi mate, it seems like you disappeared there.
Yeah, I think my Wi-Fi died.
Yeah, just check him out, load speed. Solid 25, 27, 30. Solid 35, get to 40, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Is he going to get to 50? It might do. That's fucking good. So it's not me anyway. There you go, not bad, not bad.
Right. I'm tethering.
Yeah. Oh, you really? No wonder. Why are you tethering?
My Wi-Fi in my apartment's fucked, so.
Oh, great. Right, so let's find a sound that works. straight away that sounds amazing. The problem with June is that it seems to peak quite a lot. Nah, maybe not. I was going to put a limiter on there, but it's not doing it, so it's all good. That sound is nice, but it does need to come alive a little bit, but it's got a fullness. So to bring it alive, I'm just going to go and stick Noveltech character on there. It's my favourite thing to... I always like to say it makes shit sound good. But look, now it's gone into the red, and this is where you use a limiter. And for so many years, I was like, oh my God, I'm not a good producer because I've not got a £2,000 piece of hardware limiter, and the compressor I've got only costs £200, which is cracked. And I need to go and buy the most expensive compressor, and it's just a load of fucking bullshit. The honest truth is I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. All a limiter is used for, in my opinion, all I use it for, 7-beat point #1 tracks, so can't really complain with that. All I use a limiter for are things like this. When a sound is going into the red and you need more volume, what the fuck do? Well, you can turn the lead bus down, but what happens if you've got 4 or 5 other leads that are mixed nicely? Well, this is where you will use limitation. And all a limiter does is think of it visually. It puts a lid on things. So say you've got a box full of toys and a couple of toys keep falling out. You put the lid on it. There you go. Toys not falling out anymore. I know that's a silly analogy, but you get my point. And a limiter, it doesn't, all it does is it's the opposite of a compressor. What a compressor does is when a sound becomes too loud compared to another section, a compressor will pull that volume down and level out a sound. Now, a limiter does the same thing, but instead of bringing the louder parts down, it brings the quieter parts up. So in a situation like this, we're not even going to have to do anything. Now, I've bought this nice fancy Pro L2. Now, you'll see me use waves for years, and there's nothing wrong with that. A limiter's a limiter. I'll be honest with you, I've been using the same bloody synths and things for 12 or 13 years. I needed a change, and the Fab Filter range does look quite sexy, if you can use that word for producing. And anyway, we're not going to do anything, but you'll see now that we've got more volume without going into the red. Perfect. So there you go. We've got that volume now, and we're not going into the red. Another thing that was quite interesting there as well. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't actually add any gain. Just having the limiter, on its own is enough. Now, what I need to do is I need to read the manual for this limiter, because there's all these fancy buttons and all these fancy little, visualizations that I ain't got a bloody clue what we do. So I must admit, I need to have a little read of that. Anyway, that's going to be our main lead, our body. But what we want is a bit of. I don't know. I love this sound. I think it's probably the most beautiful sound I've ever found, and it's the main lead for Ember in the Ashes. And I've got to be careful because I've been using it a bit too much lately because it's so beautiful. But anyway, we're going to use it now. Get Jay's melody sounding good. Yeah, we're probably just going to simplify it. So listen. That was not the sound. Just a quick question, Jay. Did you write this chord progression yourself, or did you use my method of taking a well-known chord progression and building up on it?
I took it from a MIDI pack.
Okay, cool, right.
And changed them.
Did you change the drone?
Using the method.
Yeah, the thing is, it just doesn't, you can tell it's just been changed. It doesn't sound right. That needs to go there. Because you're going back to the root note. So it sounds ridiculous. So, a little tip for everyone watching, and it might sound lazy. Look, I will put my hands up and tell you, I can't play the piano. I'm not very good musically. I can't read music, but I'm a bloody good producer. And it's because I use my brain and I've got good tips and little tricks and little things that I use to my advantage. So let me tell you a little story. For many years, I would sit there trying to do chords and be like, I just don't understand. You know, a bottom note sounds okay, but then you put another bottom note on it. But what happens when you start writing melodies and chords? It's fucking confusing. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this. So I'm going to get a MIDI file from somewhere, like Nonstop 2K. I'm going to get the chord progression. I'm going to transpose it to a different key and just write a melody over it. Now, I still do that. Honestly, like, if I want to write an uplifting track, I'll go and, get an Alan Feeler track. And listen, I can't play the chords, so if you want to judge me for that, that's fine. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. But I can't play the piano. And no one has ever come around to me and said, oh, Adam, love that track, but, the chord progression's the exact same. And a funny little story, Solar Stone and Alien Feeler, Last at Fire Island, that is an absolute rip-off of Time by Hans Zimmer. Not complaining, because it's a great track, but the chord progression is the exact same. So people do it all the time. And yeah, the issue with this chord progression is, as I said, Jay's changed it when he probably doesn't really know he's doing that much for chords at the minute. No disrespect, he's a great musician, but, the proof is in the pudding. But you go back up to that note, it doesn't sound right. So we're just going to keep it simple and let it follow let it follow. It's going to sound so much better now. And look, what's actually interesting is that Jay's melody was wrong as well. Look at this. His drone and his lead weren't even going to the same note, so he's made a mistake there. So let's fix that. I can hear a great melody in here. I really can, and I'm gonna make it sound amazing now. Bear me a second. here. Let's get a variation. That is how you do it. Could we turn up the parameter? You can do whatever you want, mate. I'm just fucking about. I love that sound personally. But that melody is now pucker. Pucker, pucker, pucker. Love it. Really love it. Let's get it back on. So yeah, look. The melody was in there all along. It just took a little bit of a different perception for it. In my opinion, that's an amazing melody. It's a hook. Before, yeah, I had an idea of a hook, but it wasn't a hook. Wow. Right. Join the Ellis experience. I'm going to post this up for a free little lesson. And yeah, you're going to get 20 hours of more shit like this with me chatting absolute bollocks. 3 templates a month. Me as your mentor, which is just absolutely fucking hilarious to see. And a fuckload of other benefits. $40 a month. Millions of stars. Millions of benefits. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.